And we are back and we are live. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, WatchYoMouthReviews. This is your boy James, where today I'm here to give you my honest review while trying to watch my mouth. Definitely not gonna happen this video. So sorry for those of y'all who do not enjoy my cussing, but I do cuss a lot. I'm just an oxymoron at times. That's why I love being one. But that's okay. We'll live to fight another day. Joining me is my co-host, Mrs. Beth. I'll say what's up to her.
Good evening, beautiful human, or good evening.
Yeah.
Good more good afternoon.
There you go. There you go.
Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, all of those good things.
Yes, like, comment, and subscribe. You guys, whatever recaps or reviews that I don't cover on my channel, we cover on Mrs. Best's channel. So you might want to go over there. She has a nice little playlist that is in categorized order of the shows that we recap together, and some on my channel as well. So you guys go over to her channel and be sure to tell James sent you and enjoy yourselves because we had a great time doing all the lives and we'll continue to have a good time doing all the lives. But we're going to go ahead and get into Belle Collective, y'all. This episode was on my nerves. Everybody worked my nerves. Everybody. So even the ones that wasn't even in the episode, Carrie, you ain't catching no strays, but I'm gonna put you in there too. The episode opens up with Letitia. She is going to a boutique and she invites Selena because they are going to style Marie for an event that they have planned for her. And I said, are we really doing this right now? Mrs. Best, are we really doing this right now? So we are going to style Marie based on Letitia and Selena's style advice. Mrs. Best, what was your reaction when you heard that come out of Letitia's mouth?
I am so sorry. I actually just figured one of our teachers passed away. I
Oh
was just
no.
scrolling, so I didn't hear. My heart is a little. What did you ask? I'm so sorry.
No, that's okay. Oh my gosh, condolences. Oh my goodness. No, I was asking you, Letitia and Selena are at a boutique to style Marie for an event that they have planned for her later. How did you feel hearing Letitia being the person that is going to style Marie for this event that they have planned for her?
What a way that brought me a giggle. Um, Letitia doesn't even have clothes. She doesn't even understand what size she should be wearing in clothes.
Thank you.
Okay, all of Letitia's clothes and buttons are too tight. Her buttons are going through the fight of their life. The, and there's no reason for it. There's no reason for it. Listen, I gain weight, I lose weight. When I gain weight, I buy a bigger size of clothes. When I lose weight, I buy a smaller size of clothes. James does it all the time too. His weight be up and down sometimes.
Yep.
And he's not going to put on a medium shirt if he's gained an extra 20 pounds. He's going to put
Exactly.
that medium shirt to the back of the closet and get his ass to Planet Fitness with a smile.
Yep.
So I don't feel like Letitia should dress anybody, but honestly, this is not a cast I look to for fashion.
The only person that I feel could style me, and that's because I tend to not have an issue with what she's wearing, is Latrice. That's the only person on this cast that I feel like gets the assignment correct. And even sometimes it's questionable, but for the most part, that's the only other person that I felt like would be good for the job. So, Marie, you definitely, yeah. It's definitely not. I would not tell you. You was better off wearing whatever the fuck you had, but they make
No,
a day of it.
Marie needs guidance though, because
She do.
Intergalactic Marie was the final fucking straw for me. I have never anything like it. I didn't know if it was a one piece jumpsuit. She looked like someone from Xenon Girl from the 21st century on Disney Channel circa 1999. I just, with the denim,
Yeah,
with the
I could.
denim, like what was she doing? So Marie does need a little guidance.
just not by these two. So as she's trying on outfits and everything, trying to get the girls to approve a look, Selena tells Letitia that the wedding planning is not going as planned. She doesn't have a lot of the things. She doesn't have a final approval on the decorations. There's a lot that's going on where she is stressing out the wedding coordinator and herself out because she doesn't have anything. And Letitia's like, girl, I can't believe this. The wedding is right around the corner. What you gonna do? And damn well Letitia was tickled pink because she wanted to throw it back on Latrice and Tampa. She was waiting to do that. She was waiting to do that, but she didn't do it. She took the high road that I didn't think she was going to do. But Letitia does offer her some assistance, with helping. So she said, good, because I need all the help that I can get. And I'm just like, Carlos, are they doing this for a storyline? Like, this don't even seem believable. First off, let's start there. This doesn't seem believable. Based on the wedding I saw on Instagram that Tampa shared, this does not seem like that. Because if that's really what she was stressed about, okay, I'm not buying it. This is like bullshit for the show, and that's exactly what it gave. Mrs. Best, how did you feel about Selena opening up to Letitia about her struggling about her wedding plans?
I'm sorry. Repeat what you said.
No, that's okay. I was saying, how did you feel about Selena opening up to Letitia about, her not getting together with her wedding plans and being stressed out about it?
I'm tired of hearing about this wedding. I'm so tired of hearing about this wedding. And I don't think anyone should talk to Letitia about anything ever. I'm trying to be good,
especially
but
style wise, or
I'm
planning.
just like anything having to do with a relationship or a wedding, just don't tell her, okay? Just don't tell her. I just
Right, that's how I feel.
yeah, I don't really know what to say. Like I don't have nothing to just best wishes for everybody involved. Buenas noches.
Yeah, absolutely. um, so we move on to the next scene, which is Glendale. Glendale's meeting up with Mike. And he said he knew Mike. They come from the same neighborhood, and they've been good friends. So he's trying to get some advice from someone who's already been through the journey of marriage and everything. So he's telling Mike about Letitia wanting a post-nup and how he had to seek out a divorce lawyer to understand what a post-nup was and everything. And he asked Mike about his advice because Mike was married once, and how did his situation unravel, because he's just trying to put two and two together. And Mike said that he was blindsided by his divorce. He said that we was still up in the house, we was doing everything, and the next thing he served with divorce papers and stuff, and he's still in the house that him and his ex-wife actually shared. And I said, oh, see, Selena didn't say all that when that episode aired. Selena didn't say that was an ex-wife. She said that was an ex. And there's a whole lot of difference when we talk about keeping the house that you were with an ex-girlfriend, because you could easily just move that shit out, get a whole new decoration and sage and everything. And those memories ain't really much of nothing, really. But when it comes to being married and that was a marital home, that's a little different, because those memories cut just a little bit deeper than that. So now I see why Selena want him to sell that house. Now I'm kind of on board and definitely agreeing to that. Because it looked like, as I said, he kept all of the furniture and the decorations the same. He ain't changed shit with that house. So yeah, now I understand it, Selena. I'm sorry, I didn't understand it before because I was like, well, what the fuck? All you gotta do is get some new furniture. What the hell are you mad at? But now it makes sense. So Mike ain't feeling it. He said there's definitely something that Letitia is up to. That he should definitely look more and further in depth into it. I don't really care, because at the end of the day, whatever Letitia got, she ain't gonna be smart enough to pull it off anyway. So I mean, it doesn't even matter. And I'm not trying to be funny or mean. I'm just saying what I'm saying, because we know in today's time they are very much still together. If she was really going to be smart about it, she made sure that 401k that he got and all of that retirement investments and stuff is only solely in her name. That's what, if she can come back to us and explain that, that's when I will care. But other than that, no, I don't
Even
really
if
give a
it's
fuck.
solely in her name, she's in a state where they value marriage and side with the man. So that don't mean nothing.
Damn, I didn't even think about that.
if you in a state like California or North Carolina, it might mean a little more, but it's not. It don't mean nothing.
So if he so even if she changes it, do they agree to the how it originally was set up, or do they acknowledge the
It
changes?
it could be set up how it's set up once they go to court, and depending on what's said in court and what's proven, the judge may issue her half of it. Even here in California, it's that way. I remember when my mother got divorced from my stepfather, that was like a big thing in court fighting over the retirement. Like it was a big
Mm.
thing. In most states, the person can get access to half of your retirement. So like really it's kind of a moot point what they're arguing about because 9 times out of 10, if they were to divorce, they would just have the retirement. But I just don't understand why they do this every season. They act like they good and overcoming something. Then they go through some old difficult stuff and damn near divorce. Then we gonna get to the reunion. They're gonna be talking about they in a better place. And then they're gonna be cussing everybody out on their Instagram pages when they're like, we thought y'all was divorcing. What is this when they getting along? So I think Letitia and Glenn just do this fake ass cycle for the show. And that's why I think they need to leave the show. I don't care if she pitched it, let her be an executive producer in the background and collect the check off of our screens. But this with her and Glenn is tiring and pathetic to watch. I can't imagine being in a marriage where I'm up and down with my partner and constantly overcoming some crazy, egregious form of disrespect like every 6 months. Like I couldn't do it.
Yeah. I 100% agree. And I just feel like it is exhausting watching it, discussing it, if it's just going to be the same. I don't think she has an executive producer claim to this like Melody did. I don't think she did that.
Dumb.
I don't think I'll look it up and I'll come back to y'all with that. But I don't believe that Letitia Pearson got an executive producer credit like Melody did. I don't believe that. So,
Dumb. Just dumb.
yeah. So that was it. That was pretty much their scene. So the next scene we watch is Latrice. She is having Tambra and Selena at her house. They're going to do yoga. They're not too familiar with yoga. Like Tambra was saying, she does like the meditation yoga. And when Selena gets there, they're all trying to do whatever it is, that they were trying to do because it didn't look like yoga to me. It looked like y'all was just cosplaying just to have a scene. But they talk about a few things. So they talk about the wedding and how stressed Selena is. And what was funny to me is that Letitia and Tambra both was like, she ain't say nothing to us about her having no difficulties with the wedding and everything. This is news to us. So she said, they say, girl, the wedding around the corner, you better get to plan. And she says, I know, I'm just stressed because I keep changing the venues. And she keeps saying she changed the venues and plans where it's like minute details. She's not saying it's detrimental. So that's on Selena. That ain't on y'all. So if they come back and say, well, y'all the bridesmaids, y'all could be like, hey, listen, we only can do what the bride tells us to do. So, hey, it is what it is. But she mentions that her and Mike were having pillow talk one night. And he said that he had talked to Glendale, and he said that Glendale consulted a divorce attorney. Didn't give them much details. All she said was he consulted a divorce attorney. Didn't say what it was about. Didn't say anything else like that. And the girls was all like, and she goes, I have to bring it up to her because I'm concerned, and we are her friends. And Tampa was like, no, don't do that because whenever you tell Letitia something about her husband, then she gets all flippant and then she gets angry and then turns the shit back on you because you done told her something, which is true. Letitia does do that. And that could be frustrating because I get we on TV, we're on a national show, but I can't stand somebody who gets more mad than the person who does it to them. Like you get mad at the messenger versus the message. I keep telling y'all that's the kind of person Letitia is. She gets more mad at the messenger than the actual message. So this is not going to go over well when they decide to tell her. And then they also mentioned that, lately with Marie and Letitia, it's kind of been snickering back and forth between them when it comes to the other Bells. Basically saying that there's probably an alliance going, and I could be mincing words here because they didn't quite say it like that, but that's what they were getting at. They were showing all the context examples of what this looks like because they got mad at the event that Letitia wasn't on board and they kept making fun of the games. And like Latrice said, it was a last minute thing. We just do something together. It wasn't, anything spectacular because we were choosing brand ambassadors. Usually that's just an email to somebody saying, "Hey, we saw your resume. We think you'll be great fit." Boom, bye, bow. But they did it a different way, and there was nothing wrong with what they did. I thought that event was cute. Mrs. Best, how did you feel about Selena letting them know about Mike coming back to her with the divorce talk that Glendale told him? Do you think that she should have said it in that context or waited to talk to
No,
Letitia to get
they
more
brought her
detail?
stuff. They brought her stuff to the group. So if I was Selena, I'd be bringing everything to the group. I would have said, "Oh, because when y'all heard about my husband, my soon-to-be husband having a maybe baby out there, y'all brought it to the group publicly." Selena said, "I'm gonna start bringing shit to the group publicly too." I'm not mad at her at all for it.
Nice. How did you feel about hold on, let me make sure. Oh, do you think okay, here's the thing. Selena bringing this to Letitia, we know what that's going to do at the end. But at this point, do you agree with Tambra that Letitia is going to take this the wrong way and not take it with the sense that this is her girlfriends coming to her with this, from the men's side? Do you think Letitia's going to take this wrong, like being this part of the scene? Because when I watched this, I said, "Oh, y'all know Letitia's going to take this wrong. Y'all know how she's going to."
Letitia is a bird and she's also an imposter pretending to be a boss. So of course she gonna get mad at everybody else but her husband. She stays with Glenn. She stays with Glenn. And that's why I'm also not mad at Selena for bringing it publicly, because you already done publicly had to have this man have a paternity test. He done publicly cheated on you, publicly tried to fuck Mandy, who was a close friend of yours and a part of the friend group. He's already publicly humiliated her in so many ways and continues to on a daily, that nothing anybody can say can really make it worse.
Yeah, I 100% agree
Like at
with
the end
that.
of the day, after you accept something for so long, what people need to understand about those who are in toxic relationships and have friends and family is, after so long, we stop giving a fuck. We stop giving a fuck. Whatever you do is what you do. And I feel like with Letitia and Glenn, you can't expect nobody not to bring nothing to your face, because whether they bring it to you or not, he's gonna embarrass you. He's gonna disrespect you. You're gonna accept it. You're not gonna leave him. So why the fuck, like, who cares? You can't get mad at nobody.
Exactly. Dr. Jimbo said, "Dang, I'm late." No, you right on time. You always on time. Letitia ain't going to get off my screen. Exactly. Dirty class in the show. My needed voice.
She's not a real entrepreneur. The marriage is in shambles. Get them off our screen.
It's crazy. So the next thing we're gonna talk about is Marie meets up with her father. Marie said that her and her father are really close. That they talk every day, and they get some updates on her health. She said that she's been in bad shape lately. She said that she's been fatigued, she's been exhausted, she's been tired, because y'all have to understand, Marie has the businesses and she has to come home, take care of her grandchildren, her actual children that are under 18. She got a lot going on. Marie got a lot on her plate just to be one person. She got a lot on her plate. But she said that her father was the one that really stepped up and helped her when it came to the start of her businesses. She was in her early 20s, and by the time she was 26, she was a millionaire. So she said that her father, she has a lot to thank for him, because he took a lot of time up with her kids so she can fight this career path that she is on. And her father said, just seeing the billboard of you and Essie up there, that's how I knew you was gonna make it. Like, that's how I knew you were gonna do it. Like, that just was the moment for me. So she talks about Jerez, and she says that because he's the oldest, she would like him because she's leaving a legacy behind. She has multiple practices opened in the state of Mississippi, and it's bringing in a lot of money and revenue for him. But she says that he wants to open up a dispensary. And she said that he doesn't even understand the basic principles of the business, capital, all the things that you would need to open up that business. And I even told y'all on my review, I said that a lot of these kids want to go into that industry not knowing that that's not an average business. It's not like opening up a food restaurant or opening up a laundromat. It is nothing like that. It's completely different. There needs to be equity involved. You need liquidation. You need to understand how the tax bracket works with that business because it's a little different. There's a lot that goes into it that I think that a lot of these kids, when they have this idea, mainly because of probably a lot of them partake in it, I think that anybody would have that mindset. And him having a millionaire mom, he's putting two and two together. But I'm glad that she explained it in a way to him to make him understand, okay, we can do this, but understand it's not an easy thing to be an entrepreneur. It is not. And there's so much that goes into it. And furthermore, she wants all of her kids, not just Jerez, but all of them to follow in the footsteps of the business. So then I then posed the question to her because when I was watching this scene, I said, well, Marie, what are you doing exactly with these kids that would allow them to be trained up in the business for them to take over? Because God forbid you go out tomorrow, are they prepared to run your business? At least the oldest ones that are above 18. Are they in business school? Are they going to college? What are they doing with their lives? And I think that that's what she's not explaining as to why I have this really big concern. Because when we're talking with Jerez, I barely understood what he was saying. So I'm just like, okay, where are we going with this, Marie? I need to know more backstory. But Mrs. Best, how did you feel about Marie explaining, the concerns of who's going to carry on her legacy and her son's ambition to have a dispensary?
I'm tired of the same storyline. Marie, show us something else. Whatever your son do is what he do. I think it's stupid to open a dispensary in a state where weed's not even legal recreationally. I'm just gonna say
That's
it.
true.
You're cutting a lot of profits out the way, whereas in states like California, Arizona, Washington, where weed is legal recreationally and medicinally, you can service people and sell the stronger strains to those like the cancer patients or who have a medical card, and then you can also sell the recreational, simple, cheap stuff. Uh, what the fuck you trying to do opening a dispensary in Mississippi? Come on now. It doesn't make any sense. But also kids learn by having to do on their own. I think Marie with the boy is lost. Let
Yeah.
him figure it out. Focus on the daughter. I agree with Dr. Jen. I think Zuri is the
Yeah.
only child she got with some damn sense. But
Well, that's the only
Marie,
child that we saw at the office actually doing something, regardless if it was, filing paperwork or something. She was there doing it.
I think it's just the example of how important it is for fathers to be around. Single moms are amazing, but at the end of the day, we are not men. We are not men, and the best person to raise a man and contribute and who can understand them would be a man, and that's probably the only person that can motivate her son and things like that. But he also has to want it. But I'm tired of her talking about this. I feel like the last few seasons, it's either she's talking about her kids and weird shit going on at her house in her neighborhood, and if it's not that, then she's getting back with Cedric or trying to date somebody. I love
Well,
you, Marie, but you got to give us more.
I love Marie too, and I think that yeah, I do agree with that. But at the same time, Marie, this is the advice I'm going to give you. I don't know if you watch me or not. Hey, if you do, but I'm going to tell you like this: a lot of the times when people go off to glory and they have businesses that they do to their children, the children sell it and take the fast cash. And you have to be prepared for that to be like, if you want to leave this legacy to your children, you need to write a clause that says that they cannot sell your business and that they would have to run it. Because that's what a lot of people do not do when they pass on and leave their businesses to their children. Their children sell it out of, desperation or out of not wanting to be bothered with the business, ended up taking the fast cash for it. So you need to write in clauses saying that if you want your legacy to continue with the amazing business practices that you have, then you need to write a clause to your lawyer, your estate lawyer, that says they cannot sell my business. They have to keep it in the family. They just need to find somebody to run it. And then you need to have a backup plan. You need to get a COO and make sure that your business can run even without you. That's how I feel. I feel like that's what she should do. Like, just in case, because SE also has health problems as well. So you don't want to leave this earth and then, God forbid, either one of you have the strain on the other one. Like, you need to get a COO. Like, that's how I feel. That's how I'm going to say, just to kind of take the edge off a little bit and make sure the business can then run with or without you. That's all I'm going to say. Is there anything you wanted to add before I move on to the next scene?
No.
Okay. Dr. Jim Bunny said, you're right, James. Being an entrepreneur is not for the weak. I'm revamping my education consultant business. Oh, congratulations. That is awesome. I might need your services later. I don't know. I keep saying I'm gonna text you. One of these days, I'm actually gonna remember to do so because I got to talk to you. We got to rub some elbows later, Dr. Jim Bunny. Um, so the next thing we have is Selena. She's at her house and she's on the phone with her wedding planner. The wedding planner was on 10. She was like, look, girl, you need to stop changing these plans and shit. We got time is out of the essence and everything. And Letitia walks in, and as Selena is on the phone with the wedding coordinator, and what Letitia lets us know is that the wedding coordinator actually does some of Letitia's events as well. She does her brunches, she's done her book-a-thon, she did a lot of her Letitia as well. And I said, oh, I know that lady was mad as hell with that because when we think of Letitia's brunches and events that Letitia has had, they have not been in the best of light. So, lady, you need to get online and clarify the events you actually did versus the ones we seeing on TV where people was complaining about chip plates and burnt food and shit like that. You need to clarify which of ones you did because that was not something that I needed Letitia to come out and say. Just saying. But, they're talking with her. Letitia's trying to get clarity on what's not done. Selena keeps changing her mind on colors, venues, decoration. She keeps changing her mind. She keeps going to different sidelines, different platforms. She keeps doing that, and the wedding planner is getting frustrated. So Letitia's like, girl, we gonna get it together. We gonna help. We gonna get it all together. And so, you know, this is my problem with wedding planning altogether is like they need to do it like how Party City had, those theme packages that they can buy. I know they have those for weddings, but they need to start advertising those more. Cause I would, cause I'm not fit to be up here stressed out. So that's why I didn't go into that business. Cause I ain't gonna be stressed out over no bride changing her mind. We 2 weeks away from the wedding. Like, listen, this is what it's gonna be. This is what we got, and we gonna go ahead and take care of it. Um, yes, I gotta get yes, absolutely. But I'm gonna rub some elbows with you because I need to get this mindset of mine. I have such a brilliant ideas and executions, and I need advice. So definitely, I got you. But that was pretty much it. They didn't talk. So Selena strategically did not mention this whole divorce thing in this conversation with Letitia, which once again, I know Mrs. Best said, fuck all that. Bring it up in front of the group because they did that with her. So Selena should do that with them. I feel like Selena did have some guilt. And she even said it like later on that she should have said something before, but she didn't say anything. So, Mrs. Best, we already know how you feel about Selena not saying anything, but or not, bringing this up in front of the group later. We already know how you feel about that. But how do you feel about the lady and Letitia mentioning that she has done her events as well? Do you think that lady should come out and make a statement, say, I only did a certain amount of events? It's kind of like how Shakana, when we saw Tamar didn't have no edges, and everybody was looking at Shakana, and Shakana said, wait, I only do her hair on occasions. Like, it was maybe one or two that I can name. I don't do her hair like that. You think this lady should do that with Letitia?
Yes. Yes. Save yourself, baby. I'm
Yes.
sorry. If I think of a Letitia Pearson event, I would just equate it to thinking of someone's very first event because they're not bad and you can see what she's trying to do, but you could tell when an entrepreneur or somebody who's leading something is lazy. Like I would have been checking on everything. I would have been walking throughout each table, checking the temperature of the food. I Letitia just hired people and hope for the best. And she still has not learned to do anything different. I would have definitely let people know. I've done some of her events, but none of that stuff you saw that was aired.
I know because I
Okay.
sure would not take no credit for that. No, hell no. But that was pretty much the scene with them. It was pretty much nothing. We'll get more into that in this next scene. So the Bells have put together a blind dating sequence for Marie. They are all instructed to at least bring one person as a candidate for Marie to date, all of the ladies. So all the ladies are walking in one by one, each with who they have as a person for Marie to date. Um, some are okay looking. I'm not gonna say some are okay looking. Definitely the one that Selena bought was okay looking, and the one guy that Latrice brought, he was okay. The rest of them, I was kind of like, "Ooh, y'all didn't put no effort into this." But Latrice, you are shady as fuck. You are shady as fuck. I had to call you out on that. Why the hell would you bring that lady as a contestant to this woman's, blind date experience when she has told you she's not with dating the ladies? She has said this out her mouth. Despite
Yeah,
what
a
we
lot of people say that they don't date women, don't date men, and be on the DL. And they need to stop doing that. And maybe Latrice is trying to encourage Marie to try something that might be meant for her.
That's not the way to do it. It's
It's
not
not.
that's not the way to do
It's
it. It's
not.
not.
But the way that Marie came for Latrice for about 5 out of these 7 seasons, she could get her lick back.
I
Watch how
get
you
what you're
treat
saying,
people.
but
Watch how you treat
but
people. You
see, I
never
just
know.
can't. I would be mad as hell if it was me. I'm sorry. I would be mad if I'm like, wait, what you just set me up with? It's bad enough she has to go through this because they always are making you know, a flex or a hindrance on her dating life and her being single. So I would be mad as hell if I come up in there and y'all have something that I'm not even interested in showing up as one of the dates. So they also have her daughter. Oh, I don't remember this baby's name. Let me see if I wrote it down in my notes. I don't remember her name. The stepdaughter. It's not her actual biological daughter. It's Cedric's daughter. So she's helping to host the event, and so they blindfold Marie, and they have all the men do a sequence of touching on her touching on them, whispering something. They ask questions about dating and everything. Amber is her name. I got it right here in my notes. Amber. So her stepdaughter Amber is, she is leading it. She's hosting it. So Marie, deciphers. And when she heard that lady talk, she said, "See, I know nobody but Latrice did this." So she immediately eliminates the young lady because as she said, she ain't for the ladies. And she's going through, and she ends up picking the man that Selena actually brought to the event. He was handsome. He's a neurospace engineer, so which pays a lot of money. So that was definitely a good choice. And Selena, where you know him from? I'm just curious, Selena, because that's a very interesting career. I'm not saying that Selena. I'm not saying that she's not. She doesn't know affluent people. I'm not saying that. Please don't get. But that's a very specific, different, interesting choice. Just saying. But there is some history with one of the guys that Latrice had brought because I guess him and Marie had flirted at an event that Latrice had in the past. So she brought that man as kind of a stickler to see if maybe she would be interested again in him. So she had a lot of good picks out there. Some not so good because she had one that was like really. A lot of these men were also very young. We had one that was 29. We had one that was 28. I was like, yeah, Marie's gonna be 46 at the time that this was filmed.
And she walked and built like a linebacker with a BBL. So she needs somebody real strong at her age who's intelligent.
Yeah, absolutely. But they are going to get an all expense paid dinner at Taste that Latrice will be sponsoring, which I thought was actually very nice of Latrice to do. So I, shout out to Latrice for that
Read
because
the
I.
reviews.
But as the ladies sit down, Marie walks the men out and they tell her, okay, well, you know what? If he don't work, you have the numbers of all the rest of them. So you could just pick down the Rolodex who you want today if they don't work out. So as the ladies are coming in, Selena says to the ladies that she has something to tell Letitia, and then that that she was talking with Mike and Mike had met up with Glenn. And it's weighing heavy on her to even say this out loud like this. But she said that Mike told her that Glenn was consulting a divorce attorney. And there was a mention of, finances and estates there. And Letitia is caught off guard because obviously Glendale didn't tell her, or he may have. She just probably playing stupid in front of the ladies. but she's caught off guard. And the ladies are coming to her like anytime you hear a divorce lawyer, you're thinking it's serious, and they just wanted to check on her and make sure she's okay. So Letitia was like, "Well, wait a minute. You're saying that Mike told you and he met up with Glenn. So did you know when I came to your house the other day?" She goes, "Yeah, I did know, and I'm sorry I didn't tell you at that time. I had so much going on with this wedding and everything." So Letitia in her confessional is saying, here is another thing that these ladies are bringing to me once again in front of the group, in front of everybody. And I felt like Selena prior to this could have said something about this and, kind of moved on from this. So Letitia gets up and she's very upset. She gets in her car and she immediately calls Glendale. And he answers the phone and she's on the verge of tears. And then we're left on a to be continued. I said, oh, God, here we go again. Y'all just can't never just let this show just be great. Y'all just got to fuck it up and complicate the hell out of it. And for what?
Because Carlos thinks the only way you can provide a good show is to show toxic relationships and women who are past 45 fighting. I'm so tired. Letitia and Glenn, respectfully, get them the fuck off of my screen.
I'm just saying, like,
this is a bad look for Jackson, Mississippi. The people there seem great. There's a lot of history there. Jackson, Mississippi is the highest populated and the largest city with like the most Black people in this country. But I feel like we don't need to see Letitia and Glenn no more.
We don't. I'm over them. I don't even care what happens next week because it's like we know today some they're back together. But of course, I will do my recap because I owe y'all that obligation. But I don't give a fuck about Letitia and Glenn. I don't, because this is bullshit. We know this is bullshit. We know that she knows that he saw that divorce attorney to get the information on the post up. We know that she knows this. She's playing fucking stupid in this scene, and I don't feel like she was blindsided. I think she knew exactly what the fuck was going on. I think she's mad that Glenn ran his mouth to Mike, knowing that could get back to Selena. I think that's what she's mad at. And I wish she would stand 10 toes down on that, because then that would be understandable. Like, why are you telling our personal business about you getting information on a post snuff that I mentioned to you to a man that I'm in a girl group, friend group with on national TV? I would respect her if she would say that. But I know that's not how she's going to do it. She's going to say, Glendale, why are you continuously making me look stupid in front of these women with your actions, Glendale? I can't take this no more. I just can't do this. Every time I think I'm in the clear with you, you do some shit, and now I got to answer to these women that I don't want to answer to, Glendale. I'm tired of that shit. I'm sick of that shit.
You know what's so funny? That's
what?
Exactly.
And I didn't even see the episode yet.
But I promise you that if we had the media tools, if we could afford the fancy shit and editors and a team, okay, I would have been in the background telling them, now play the clip montage of clips showing her crying just like that. Season after season after season in a questionable wig and buttons that's fighting for their life because she loved the outfit with buttons. I'm just tired. It's almost juvenile. I feel like this is how me and my bestie Leona cried to James when we were going through our breakups in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Like she just. I pray that the grandparents are active in their son's life, is all I'm gonna say.
Me too. And hell, sometimes I wonder about not the grandfather. He seemed to have his head on the shoulder. It's the mama probably, but I don't know. But yeah, that was it, y'all. That was the episode. We're gonna see what happens next week with Letitia and Glenn, and then see if my crying spell actually worked. If that's what she gonna say to him. We'll see how that goes. But I had a great time. It was a good show. Like, comment, and subscribe. Shout out to my replay game. Make sure y'all like the video. Leave me a little comment. Thank you, Mrs. Best, for being here. We are going to be on our joint channel together later this evening with also Keywan J TV. We're going to talk about the Real Housewives of Rhode Island reunion looks, some reality TV gossip talk. We also are going to have a little game for you guys. So it's going to be a fun time. So make sure you guys subscribe to that channel as well. It is in my description box. Make sure you guys subscribe there and be on the lookout for us. We're also going to be streaming to our channels as well. So if you don't see it here, you'll see it on Mrs. Best Reviews. You'll see it on Keywan J TV. You'll see it everywhere. But we will be there later this evening to talk about that. It'll be evening for me and afternoon for Mrs. Best and probably midday for Keywan. But I have to say evening because of where I am. But I want to thank everybody for being here. I appreciate you all. Thank you, Mrs. Best, once again. And y'all have a great rest of your day. Goodbye now.